The gray family mansion stood tall, glowing with thousands of Christmas lights, but inside, it felt colder than the snow falling outside. 6-year-old Clara Gray hadn't spoken a single word in 2 years, not since her mother died in a tragic accident. The silence wasn't just quiet, it was heavy, painful, and everywhere. Billionaire businessman Ethan Gray, once a man whose voice controlled boardrooms, now found himself powerless in front of his little girl's silence. He tried everything money could buy, specialists, child psychologists, speech experts, none of them could reach her. She would sit by the giant windows for hours, holding a stuffed reindeer, staring into the distance as if waiting for someone who would never return. Then one morning, when the world was wrapped under December's frost, a new nanny arrived, Elena. She wasn't loud, she didn't force a smile, and she didn't talk to Clara like she was broken. She simply knelt beside her, quietly whispering, "It's okay if you don't want to talk. I'm here anyway." That moment, small and gentle, was like the first crack of sunlight after a long winter. Clara didn't speak, but she lifted her eyes and looked at Elena. Really looked. No one had seen that spark in her eyes for years, not even her father. Day after day, Elena stayed close. She didn't push. She didn't rush. She told stories softly while Clara listened in silence. She brought her into the kitchen to bake gingerbread cookies, letting her touch the dough, smell the cinnamon, remembering what warmth felt like. She took her to the garden where snow covered every branch, and together they built a lopsided snowman with mismatched eyes. Clara didn't smile, but she didn't walk away either. Elena understood something no expert did. Clara didn't need to be cured, she needed to feel safe again. Ethan watched them from afar, his heart breaking in quiet ways. He had built empires, negotiated billion-dollar deals, but he couldn't fix this. And that failure haunted him more than anything. Christmas crept closer, and the mansion sparkled with untouched decorations. Ethan ordered a 20-foot tree, gifts that could fill a room, and professional carolers, but still, the house felt empty. Until one night, Christmas Eve, the three of them sat near the fireplace. The logs crackled, casting a warm glow across the room. Clara leaned against Elena, who hummed a soft lullaby, her hand slowly stroking the child's hair. Ethan approached with trembling hands, holding a letter, written not as a billionaire, but as a father who had finally learned to be vulnerable. His voice cracked as he read, "Clara, I miss your voice. I miss your laugh. I miss the sound of you, just being you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I wasn't here in the right way. I love you more than anything, and I would give everything I own, just to hear you speak again." When he finished, the room fell silent, but it was a different kind of silence. Soft. Waiting. Then Clara moved. Slowly. Carefully. She turned toward her father. Her tiny lips trembled, and in the smallest voice, gentle as falling snow, she spoke her first word in 2 years, "Daddy." Ethan froze. The letter fell from his hands. Tears rushed down his face before he could stop them. He dropped to his knees and opened his arms. Clara ran to him. Not hesitating. Not afraid. She pressed her face into his chest, and he held her like she was the most fragile treasure in the world. Elena watched with tears in her eyes, her heart full, knowing this wasn't a miracle of magic, but of love, patience, and believing when others stopped. Ethan looked up at her, no words needed. She had brought his daughter back. She had brought him back. Snow fell gently outside as the fire warmed the room, and for the first time in years, the gray mansion wasn't silent anymore. It was home again. And this was only the beginning.